He has fingers faster than two fire ants dancing on a hot stove. He is as charming as Casanova. And last but not least, it looks like his best friend is Professor Tim Noakes. Tonight I rendezvous with Rocco de Villiers at Live Arts Little Theatre. Now you have been an iconic performer in South Africa for the last 20 plus years. What has been your most memorable memory from your career?
You know what, at the moment, CDs are becoming something of the past, but I remember that my very first CD that I released was Screen Test in I can't even remember, but holding your first CD in your hand was quite incredible, because it felt like a business card. Because now, when I have my first album in my hand, when people say, "What do you do?" I can say, "This is what I do."
Yeah. Now you've released 13 albums,
Yes.
which is more than two hands can count. Do you listen to other music, or what other music do you listen to in your spare time?
When I listen to music, I listen to classical music. I love the music of Bach because I think it's absolutely genius. I think the word genius is very loosely used lately, especially by younger people. You don't hashtag genius or respect to anyone. You respect someone who is a genius. Other people are just talented. Talent is one thing. Genius is altogether another story.
Different, yeah. And I'm sure in your life experience you must have read many books and read up on people. What book would you say have you read that has changed your life?
I like classic works to this day. I like all the modern books. I like Joan Morris, but I think when I was at university, I read the Oscar Wilde classic, The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I don't know if you've read that.
No.
The Picture of Dorian Gray is about the fact that the cliche of beauty is lost on the young. When you're young, and it's fantastic to be beautiful, but then it goes away.
You were recently appointed as a minister in the Republiek van Zuid-Afrika.
That's just for fun.
Yeah, what position would you like to have in South African Parliament?
Oh, definitely the Minister of Culture, because I think there's a lot to be done. And this is not, I'm not saying this to be funny, but I think if one builds on a solid culture, and it will never happen, but if we can have one culture,
unity.
It's so much better. The moment that you have a division because of a language or a culture, you have a problem. But I don't think in my lifetime, maybe in yours, it's going to change. But I'd like to be the Minister of Culture.
You have written 2 cocktail books, and one being Rocktails Cocktails, where you have original recipes paired with local products. What would you say is your advice for the perfect dinner date?
I haven't been on a date for 30 years. But when I used to be single, and I went on a date, and I was still buff and young and gorgeous, I always tried to be, one must have lots of surprises.
Listen. Surprises, that's
in
it.
whatever form you want to surprise, do that thing.
That's the X factor that gets. Yes. And one last question, what would you say what is the thing that in your life, person, event, or anything that you are the most grateful for to this day?
I am very grateful that I grew up in a small town with beautiful trees, a mountain, water, a river, that I could walk barefoot to school. I think I'm very grateful for growing up not in a city but in a small town, because when one grows up in a very small town and you don't have all the visual and sound stimulation that one has in a city, it triggers your imagination in an incredible way, because you have to imagine things, and one day when you get the opportunity you think, maybe I must make that fantasy now a reality. And that's, I will never ever I think a lot of people are embarrassed to be from small towns. Oh no, I'm absolutely grateful, absolutely.
Ons boeke, ons kan ek sal teken, ons kan 'n foto vir Twitter neem. Ja, ek los vir julle met my ma se gunsteling gesang van alle tye. How great thou art, hoe groot is
What a gentleman. If you want to see Rocco in action, be sure to visit his Facebook page as well as his website, roccodevilliers.co.za. That's all for today's episode. I would like to especially thank Lo Breitenbach from Live Arts Little Theatre. And also for The Floor, for always being there when hot people walk past, and I trip.